Hey, it's your girl Autumn Rain, and this is Beyond the Record. Hey guys, welcome back to Beyond the Record. You're for your weekly update in all things music and culture. You already know who it is. It's your girl Autumn Rain. I am so happy to be back. I'm so happy you guys are here listening to me. Happy New Year. I hope everyone's New Year has gone off to an amazing start. I just feel like everyone feels for New Year's, just like starting off with those resolution, those tactics to get those goals met. And I'm just so excited to be talking to you guys once again. It has been such a great year in music last year. And this show is just going to be recapping a little bit about my favorite albums of last year. And then we're getting into some new releases as well because 2026 is coming in hot. Okay, we have so many new releases out that it's actually insane. And now we're also going to look into what are some rumored albums that are also going to be hitting this year, sometime this year. So let's just get started. Okay, so I would say it's not in order, but I would be lying to you if I told you that Leon Thomas's Mutt Deluxe Heal wasn't my top album of the year. It was all over my Spotify Wrapped, and it's the reason why Leon Thomas is that guy, okay? And I had my favorite songs listed. I did a little recap on Instagram and TikTok. I don't know if you guys saw that, but we're gonna go over that again and just share like some of my favorite songs from the album. Not Fair. That was my most played song of the year. Okay. If you have not listened to that, please listen to that. It is so worth it. Whole album's worth it. I have no notes, but Not Fair just did something to my brain chemistry. Okay. When I hear that song, I'm just like, whew, he did that. He did that. The next song I have to do Lucid Dreams because I think that song that features Masiago. And I think that song just doesn't get talked about enough. And also, guys, I did just try to keep it. There's another deluxe on here, I believe. So try to keep it to the songs that are on the deluxe. So I did like the original album as well. Like that was also one of my favorite albums. And yeah, but I wanted to just shout out the ones that were on the deluxes. And some of them I did not do that, but this one for sure, I focus on the deluxes. So Lucid Dreams with Masiago, amazing song. Like I said, I don't think enough people were talking about it, okay? They just were not talking about it as much as I needed them to talk about. Another song on here I felt like did not get enough love, okay? Not enough love, right? Was Dirt on My Shoes featuring Kehlani. And you already know she had an amazing year with Folded. So we're going to get to her a little bit later. But I think that's another song. I love a duet and their voices just sound so good together. So please listen to those three songs if you haven't already because they're so worth the listen. Next up, this album technically was released at the end of 2024, but made big waves in 2025. So this, yes, is included on my 2025 Wrapped, okay? Because I just feel like it obviously could not get enough time to be played because it was just released at the end of the year. There's another album on here as well that was released at the end of 2025, and I have been playing that nonstop as well, so we'll also get to that. But this album that I'm talking about first is Kendrick Lamar's GNX. If you are not on the internet, but I feel like even if you are on the internet, you are hearing Luther because that is like the number one song I felt like the whole year. It was number one on the Billboard chart for a couple of weeks. And that song is one of my favorites. Kendrick just had a good 2024, but he also had an amazing 2025. And honestly, I just can't wait to see what he's going to do this year because I know he's going to one up it. So Luther was one of my favorite songs from GNX. Gloria, also one of my favorite songs. It's the closing song of the album. Both of those have SZA, if you don't see a pattern. And then I want to say Man in the Garden, okay? I love this album top to bottom, just like I did Heal. Man in the Garden did something to me too, because it's him by himself and he's just preaching that he deserves it all. And all three of these songs, two of them obviously are like R&B coded, but the last one is mostly rap. And I just feel like this song just speaks so much life. And I honestly, it's going to be my mood for 2026 moving on because, yeah, yeah, I need that. I need that. Like I said previously in my intro, hip hop had such an amazing year, and you cannot talk about hip hop in 2025 without mentioning Clips. Clips is comprised of brothers Pusha T and Malice, and they released Let God Sort 'Em Out. They're up for a couple Grammys this year, and I'm gonna need them to pull several trophies. Okay. I'm gonna need them to take a lot home. I'm gonna need them to take a lot home. So my favorite songs, my top three were The Birds Don't Sing, which also has John Legend on it. They actually performed this at the Venetian, which is like so crazy. So crazy. They're the first rap artists to do that. And when I listen to that song, I legit just want to cry. Like I legit want to cry. Like it is so sad, but it's so beautiful how they put it together. And it's the first track on the album. So it just sets you up for the musical journey that you're about to go through. Next up, I got Chains and Whips, and that's of Kendrick. Okay. He was featured on that, and that is such an amazing song as well. The bar, going bar for bar for bar with like three amazing MCs is absolutely insane. So yeah, that was my second favorite. Then you got So Be It, which Malice just bodied, and he is definitely one of my top contenders for best MC of the year. So yeah, you guys need to listen to this album if you haven't so already. I think it's hard to avoid it at this point because yeah, you can. I don't know if you can really listen to rap without actually listening to this album for this year. Next up, we got Bad Bunny with DTMF. I really loved the title track. I was able to travel to like Brazil like earlier last year, and like a month after this had dropped. And granted, he's from Puerto Rico, but it was just like, it just gives vacation vibes. Okay. The whole album is amazing. The messages behind it. And, you know, it just gives like such like a beautiful, like cultural representation of Puerto Rico. I was lucky enough to go like the year previously. So, and I had an amazing time. I keep telling myself I need to go back. I just had a great time. I wish I would have saw his residency, but unfortunately I did not. But totally recommend this album. And I love the title track, the ballet track, and then EOO, like that one, EO, I think that's how it's pronounced. And yeah, I can't wait until he kills this Super Bowl halftime show. It's going to be absolutely insane, but he got it despite all the backlash. I know he's going to put out a performance of a lifetime and represent his culture. So now we're going to go back to R&B for a second. And I had to shout out Giveon because his album Beloved, I was remember listening to the song for the first time with my mom, who's also a fan of him. It was just, I'm very a mood listener. I try to listen to the album, but also I just want to be in the right mood to listen to the album just so that I can like get to where I need to be to actually give it a full critique. And this was one of those ones. It took me a while to actually go out and listen to it, but then it immediately became one of my favorite albums. Like I was like, when I do my wrap up for the year, like this album is going to be on it. So my favorite was Strangers and 20s, which was, I believe, the lead single, and then Avalanche. Definitely check this album out. Giveon did his thing. He's also up for a Grammy, and I hope that they all show out this year, all these albums. Next up, I got my girl Cardi B, okay? Am I the Drama? And when I tell you that this album was my go-to gym album of the year, 100%. I listened to Hello as soon as I walk in. I didn't have it as my top three, but whole album top to bottom, like she talks about her relationship, her ex relationship with Offset, and then a little bit about her new relationship with Stephon Diggs. He's an NFL player. He plays for the New England Patriots, and they welcomed their son together in November. And my favorite tracks from Am I the Drama is Safe with Kehlani. And you know, she had an amazing year with Folded. We're going to talk about her later. And then we got Bodega Baddie. Something about that song when it comes on, I'm just like, ooh, ooh, ooh. It's so crazy. I love, love, love that song. And then we got Pretty and Petty because she was calling people out. This was just one of the songs where she was calling people out. But this one was a diss towards Bia. And then she has like another song that was a diss towards JT. So yeah, she was just not playing any games this year, which was Magnet, which is the one against JT. She wasn't playing any games this year. This year it missed the deadline to be for this year's Grammys, but I think the Grammys in 2027, I think she'll have a few awards, especially because she'll be going on tour in February. People will talk about the album again. I know she's going to do such a great job on that tour. So yeah, definitely like stay tuned. I can't wait to see what comes of this album award season for next year. Next up, I got Justin Bieber. He released two albums actually, Swag and Swag 2. And both of those albums were just on a constant repeat for me. And if you would have told me at the beginning of 2025 that Justin Bieber is going to be on my top albums for the year, I would have told you you're lying. And that's not to say anything against Justin Bieber because he hasn't released music in a while. That would have been surprising to me. And then you're telling me that he's going to release two albums? You're bugging. So I just thought that having him, he just had a slam dunk with these two albums, in my opinion. I do have some critiques on it too, but like I don't want to take too much time because I just want to talk about why I had it on my 2025 top albums. And I really like the song Yukon, which I think was everyone's favorite. I Do, which is just so like cute and just so direct and loving type of song. And then you got Devotion, which just hits it on the nail. Like this song is going to play at my wedding. Okay. And that's with Dijon. And I just feel like he just did what his big one for these two albums as well. He's going to be kicking off the Coachella. I believe he's the second day. And I honestly would not be mad about going out to Cali to go see him perform. I'm praying that he actually releases a tour though. So I will keep you guys updated as you know. So if he releases a tour, y'all be the first to know on this show, okay? Because I'm going to have to be there. I'm going to have to be there. Next up, back to rap, and I have JID, God Does Like Ugly. This was a new, I don't know if I'll bring this back this year. I might probably will though, because it makes me listen to the music like nonstop. I'm definitely someone who listens to the album from top to bottom when I first hear it, because I just love track listing. That's like one of my favorite things because I like to see if there's a story there, if there's not. But this was an album that I listened to at the gym. And it's a great gym album from start to finish. It's a great gym album, and I was not surprised with this because I know he can rap. I know he can rap, and I think he just like even more so solidified his own placement in rap too, outside of being like attached to Dreamville. And I love this album. So my favorite songs from God Does Like Ugly is Community with Clips, VCRs with Vince Staples, and you know I don't play about Vince Staples. And then No Boo with Jesse Reyes. Those are my top three. And yes, while those are those three songs have featured tracks. But the whole album, and I think when I first finished listening to this album, I think I gave it like a 9.5, something crazy. So this is another album that all rap fans need to be listening to this year. Next, I'll be going back to R&B. We're going to close it out with R&B actually. Well, R&B-esque. We'll see. So I have SZA's SOS Deluxe Lana. I know there was a lot of, now I want to say controversy, but a lot of conversation about why she decided to do a deluxe that was so long, and many people felt as though it should have been its own album. But at the end of the day, we got new SZA music, and I'm just never going to complain about that. Okay, I'm never complaining about that. So my top song, which I think everyone has heard last year, was 30 for 30 with Kendrick. I, at this point, I'm gonna need them to get in the studio together and give me an EP. Now I want an album, but give us something. I need a joint album with them so bad. I was able to go to their concert last year. Such a good concert. They both performed so well. And like I've mentioned several times, this is from my hometown, okay? So it's hometown all the way. Jersey girl, Mapso, and yeah, she's just one of my favorites. So besides 30 for 30, Chill Baby does something to me, does something to my brain chemistry. And the same thing with Drive. Drive is so good. And like, I do listen to this while I'm driving. But the way SZA can just break down my every emotion, I just feel like she'd be listening. She know my life. She has a bug in my house, something. She's listening to me. And I just love this album. I do have the original SOS vinyl, but I have to go ahead and get that deluxe. I think it's like $70. But yeah, I think it's like $70, but coming soon too, because we're gonna have something on that as well. Next up, I have Kamari. He released To Dry a Tear. This is his sophomore album. And I think this is an album I didn't see on people's raps. And I just need y'all to get hip to Kamari this year. I need you to do that for me, okay? I need you to do that. So I'm gonna go with my favorite three tracks is his intro track, which is I Love Lucy, Sycamore Tree, which was like the lead single. And whew, when I say does something to my brain chemistry, because his voice just floats on this, and he samples D'Angelo's How Does It Feel. It just does something to your body. It just does something to you. And for him to have passed this last year, it just does something. It's eerie almost. And then my last one that was my favorite was Acres. But all in all, love this album. And like I said, I'm gonna need y'all to get hit to Kamari this year. I'm gonna need y'all to get hit. Next up is an album that released earlier this year too, was The Weeknd Hurry Up Tomorrow. He was another one that was surprising to me. And this is not to say because I like The Weeknd, but I just felt like a lot of his music in the past couple of years I didn't resonate with. So this was very, very shocking to me too, to have this one. And I also got like a really, really cool vinyl of this. And like I said, we're gonna go into, I'll be talking too much. We're gonna go into that later when I talk about some segments that I'm teasing for for this year. Cause I want to give y'all something different. Maybe something different. Maybe I'm gonna let that maybe just be the tease for now. And I just want to see what things you guys want as well. But let me get back to The Weeknd. So Hurry Up Tomorrow. My favorite was Sao Paulo with Anitta. Like I said, like I went to Brazil that year, last year, and it's had a blast. So I was really feeling like Brazilian funk. I love Anitta. I'm getting into her music too. So that was one of my favorite songs. I really like Niagara Falls. And of course, like the lead single, Timeless of Playboy Cardi. So he also had a good year too. I did listen to his album, but obviously it just didn't make, there's so many. I'm giving y'all 12 albums I really liked. His album was good. It was good, just not one of my favorites, but super talented, super talented. And my last one, so this is number 12. I got Wale, Everything Is a Lot. And this was the album that I teased earlier to you guys that dropped later in the year, but still made moves for me. And it was able to like really captivate me. Like Wale, when I think about Wale, I just think about high school a lot. And I think about Lotus Flower Bomb era and just how he's just able to just captivate like between R&B and hip hop and just merging those together so seamlessly. And yeah, Everything Is a Lot was a lot in the best way possible. So my favorites were Where to Start, Watching Us with Leon Thomas, and Survive with Ty Dolla $ign and Dino. When I tell you like that last song, I was like, oh, it's tear jerking listening to that. So like I said, with all these albums, definitely give it a listen because they're all worth it. They're all worth the listen, all worth it. So I'm just going to fast forward to just this year, actually to present day. And I want to tell y'all what's going to be dropping soon. So you have your ears peeled for these albums because, like I said, 2026 is coming in hot. And there's also some rumored albums that we'll get to at the end of the show. So right now, these are confirmed releases for 2026 so far. We got Bruno Mars. He just said that he was going to be releasing his album, The Romantic, and that's going to be dropping tomorrow. And I haven't heard a Bruno album in a minute. I want to say it's been probably, as I know, Silk Sonic. That was a couple years ago, but I think a studio album solo from him has to be about maybe 10 years. I'll come back next week and let y'all know if that was correct, but I believe it was about 10 years. Now we got A$AP Rocky, and this is the person that I believe that like, I didn't know when this album was going to come out. This album is called Don't Be Dumb. He's been teasing this for a couple years now. And like I said, like everyone else, I was in the dark about when this album was going to come out. But we finally got a release date. It's going to come out on January 16th. And he's already released Punk Rocky. So I will give y'all my thoughts on that as well. So far, I like it. I haven't heard A$AP in a minute. I miss him. So I'm really excited to see what this whole project is going to sound like. Maybe we'll get Rihanna in the back vocals. Like, just hyping it up. Who knows? Next up, we got Ari Lennox, Love My Aries Queen. She's going to be dropping Vacancy. She's already released Under the Moon and Soft Girl Era. And this album is going to be out on January 23rd. So look out for my girl Ari. I can't wait for this one either. Then we got Jordan Ward. He's going to be releasing Backward. And I love how he did that. I love that. I love the play on words. He already released Juicy and Smoking Partner with Sailor. So definitely listen to those so you get a vibe of what he's going to be giving us on January 30th when that's due. Then we got a great surprise at the end of the year when Ella Mai said that she's going to be releasing her album, Do You Still Love Me? I don't play about Ella Mai, okay? I don't play about her. And she has already released Little Things that was on like a very, very short project called 3. And she has also released Tell Her. And that is going to be available next month on February 6th. Then the biggest surprise out of all of these was Jill Scott. She was interviewed, and shortly after, she said that she is going to be releasing her first album in 10 years, and it's titled To Whom This May Concern. The lead single is Beautiful People. Then we got Ab Soul, JID, Tierra Whack, and Too Short on there. Production from legends, DJ Premier, Almost Keith, the Trombone Shorty, and we're going to get that right before Valentine's Day. That's coming up on February 13th. Cannot wait for that. Love me some Jilly from Philly, okay? Love me some Jill Scott. So super excited for that. Then we got Kehlani. She didn't leave us hanging. I'm happy for that. While we don't have an exact release date, she said spring 2026. Like I mentioned earlier, she had such a great year in R&B, really leading it with Folded. And I'm gonna need her to take some Grammys home. I just want people to win. I really just want people to win this year. I'll definitely have my full Grammys predictions as well as I do every year. So I can't wait to give that to y'all. It's gonna be so fun. And then I'm gonna end it with the rumors of this year. So We got Beyonce Act 3. A lot of people think it's going to lead rock, which I also believe she's teased it too many times. And like I said, if this is something that you guys are interested in and want me to really take a deep dive in, I'm down to do it. So if about any clues, I'm Beehive. And a lot of people I want to add to this is that a lot of people believe that a lot of people believe that the announcement will come after the Met Gala in May because she's a co-chair this year. She also hasn't been on the Met Gala stage in 10 years. So everyone's going to see what she's been wearing. Everyone's going to be looking to see if there's any clues for Act 3. But Beyonce loves a little uh, Instagram tease and Instagram drop rather and she might just say buy the tickets now. And that's what I'm scared of. Okay. That's what I'm scared of. But when you're Beehive, you got to put Beyonce in the budget. So we're going to see if that happens. Next, we have J. Cole, The Fall Off. Everyone thought that he was going to drop last year. Honestly, I'm not mad at him for not dropping. I will wait for J. Cole. I will wait. I will gladly wait for him. I don't want this to be his last album. I really don't. I really don't want this to be his last album. He previously, when he did his preview to how he was going to wrap up his rap career, seemingly, it was going to be It's a Boy first, which his birthday is at the end of January. So I'm hoping that he stays true to that, and then we wait another year for The Fall Off. I'm cool with waiting on that. I really, really am. I like to see what It's a Boy is about, So I want him to go back to that if possible. But we'll see. Any updates on that, I'll definitely let you know. And lastly, Drake has been teasing Iceman for the past couple of months through streaming, clues on Instagram. So still, there's no release date for either of these albums, but these are huge names. Beyonce, J. Cole, Drake. They can really turn up the music scene right now. So I'm super excited for this year. Like I said, this year is going to be a beautiful start. I think 2025 really just put everything in movement and everyone is just following suit. So I cannot wait. And lastly, I just want to know what you guys want to see this year from me. Like, is it playlists? Is it articles? Is it streaming? Is it videos? I'm trying to do more so on YouTube as well and just make sure all the content is aligning, doing more TikToks, doing more artist discovery too. I just want to learn more about new artists. I love the top tier artists like everyone does, but I just want to do more artist discovery too. I have so many ideas that I want to pursue with the podcast and with the show. So any suggestions that you have, I'm open to them. Let me know what you want because I want to be able to give you guys what you want to listen to, right? So be sure just look at the website, beyondtherecordpodcast.com. Reach out to me via social media. It's under that handle, Beyond the Record Podcast. So anything y'all think of, let me know what you want to see, what you like, what you don't like. That's also helpful too. I can take some criticism. So let me know what you like. I will be back. And one thing I will say that I am trying to do for next year and keep me accountable is also doing, like I said, more YouTube and putting the videos of these for the next day in case you guys aren't available to listen to the radio as well, just so that you have all this information and I can just be able there to serve you, right? So just let me know what you guys need. I'm going to try to get it done. Work has been really, really busy. It's been really busy, which is great. And this is so fun to do. And I just want to make sure that it is in everyone's best interest. And like I said, I just hope everyone has a beautiful year. It went off to an amazing start. And I can't wait to see you guys next week with more things. And yeah, just have a good night.